Hoo-ah, 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 we. We are the Buffaloes. B-U-F-F-A-L-O-E-S. Buffaloes! You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my mannies, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? It's the same old street refrain as the buffaloes won the game.
Goes. Welcome to TIO Stadium. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season. It's round 18 action between Darwin and Southern Districts. Fifth versus first place here. I'm Will Zwar. With me in the commentary box is Clint Firth. And not quite a dead rubber, Clint, because both these sides have next week and the next month of footy to come ahead of them. But we know that Southern Districts are going to finish top of the ladder and Darwin Buffalo is going to finish fifth no matter the result. So, what do you think we'll end up taking out of this game? I think it'll be a good challenge for both sides, personally.
Yeah, it'd be we'll see where they both sit. I'm sure Southern Districts with the bye next week will, and they put a good team on the park here. I see Cam Ellis Yeoman back for them, and they got a pretty strong team. So they look at very close to full strength. They're going to have a good hit out. They'll have a rest for the bye next week. Buffaloes, they want to perform. They don't want to go into their elimination final against Nightcliff next week off the back of getting belted here. So it's important they carry momentum through. And yeah, looking forward to a good game. She's stinking hot out there, Will. As usual, a little bit of breeze picking up, going to the right of screen, so going to the airport end. Umpires for this game, Cypress Hart, Emma Stark, and Tim Bitterscombe.
And we know that both these sides are probably, particularly Southern Districts, well, I guess both sides are looking for redemption from, I think it was their round 6 clash, which was called off early with a pretty nasty neck injury to Nick Waitman. Obviously, he's up again and playing today, but Darwin Buffaloes were up by about 27 points in that one when it was called off before half-time. Both sides walked away with the 2 points. So despite, as we said, it's not quite a dead rubber, but yeah, an interesting result, and the result won't change the ladder. I think there could be a bit of heat, and both teams with a bit of something to prove in this one.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams want a fair crack at finals. And they want that momentum coming up for finals. So that's umpire Emma Stark there, puts the ball in the air. Round 18, 2022-23 NTFL. Maddie Dennis gets the ball down. Sharked there by Mitch Robinson. Plays fight over it, picked up there by Smith. He's dispossessed. Maddie Shannon goes in there, comes to McQueen. Little handball. Oh, it looked to be taken high there. That was Luke Smith. And he gets the kick. Calling for it out wide there is Sexton. Goes over his head to his skipper, Staunton. Sexton runs on. Gathers. 60 metres out. Just caressed as he kicked it there. Put a little bit of pressure on the kick. Stokes is there. McQueen's there. Staunton's there. Ellis Yeoman picks up, comes back to McQueen, 49 metres out, drills one in. Must have been touched off the boot. Umpire called play on very early. Picked up there by Sterling Mitchell. He gives the hands to Mitch Robinson, and Buffs go to centre half forward.
They roll around now, looking forward to Chris Atkinson, but getting first to it will be Driscoll. He now rolls around onto his right, kicks across goal, has to hit his target. He does. He finds McQueen. McQueen will keep going. He'll roll. Finds Delahaye on the back flank in front of the Morris Rioli grandstand here, and that's a good kick. Mark couldn't be taken there by Shannon. He goes to the big fella Dennis. He goes forward and finds Cam Ellis Yeoman, former Crow and Lion in the AFL. He goes inside 50, beats all comers. Now running back to it will be Cassidy. He rolls around, gets through traffic, but not well. Shannon, he handballs it off to Mentha. Mentha rolls around onto his right, almost paused in traffic, gets dacked. And the Buffs escape there again. Stokes now. He'll short, sharp, get it across. I think that might be Maroney in that back pocket. Now goes out to Tom Jock back in the side today. A handy inclusion ahead of finals. Move too much, and umpire says off you go. Not a great kick. Couldn't find Robinson, but they'll clean it up. Hot on his tail was Ellis Yeoman. Now Jock running through. He's taken high as well. Gets paid the free kick, and it feels very bubbly out there already, doesn't it, Clint? They go now onto the run of Stokes through the middle of the ground. Kicks it forward to the lead of their full forward there. Can't quite work out who it is. It's Aaron Stokes playing up there today. Usually see him down in the back line. So just changing it up a bit. Cameron Stokes, the coach. We'll have a ball up inside 50 for the Buffs.
Yeah, it's, as you said, Will, good heated start to this one. Bounty umpire launches in. Geez, Dennis has got some size there on Mitchell, who's playing in the ruck. Shark there by Southern Districts. Tries to clear, smothered off the boot there by Vrodos. Just lets his opposition know he smothered that.
He did.
Mate, I smothered your kick. Let's go again. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
And we know they played off in a grand final a few years ago as well. Just 1 point between them. So, yeah, they've got an interesting history, these two sides. A draw last season to go with it. Big, strong tackle there. And pinged him for holding the ball. Good work there from Matt Shannon.
Sterling Mitchell not giving the ball back there. Eventually does. Umpire says give it to him. So clear out there. Ellis Yeoman's a 1-on-2. He gives the don't argue. Then he's corralled on the line. Ball just over the boundary line there.
It's the Robinson boys, Will and Mitch. Not sure if they're related or not, but yeah, the two of them tried to work out, but Ellis Yeoman's a big boy, isn't he? And it looks like they're targeting him a little bit.
Yeah, you look down at Ellis Yeoman there, and he looks like a true centre-half forward key position player. Yet at AFL level, he was sort of an on-baller who gathered a lot of statistics. Ball comes there to Jock, 70 metres out. He drills one in. Shark there by Vrodos. He's wrapped up straight away. Picked up there by Stokes. Handball there to Hussein Ahmed Watkins. Misfires. Out on the full, and ball will be brought back in by Southern Districts as Cam Ellis Yeoman comes off for a spell.
Matt Watkins loves playing these guys as well. In that draw last year, he kicked 8 goals.
Oof.
Been playing this year at half back, so not sure if we'll have the same result today. Districts working it out. Dennis doing the work on ground level. Now gets it outside, and the ball works down to the big fella in Sam Dunstan, a long way from home. They'll keep going to Shannon, but umpire will bring it back. Dunstan looking forward. Dill Barry the target.
Whoa, well done, Jock.
Back with the flight, and now it's here with Fijo. He gets around another, kicks it long in the direction there of Sexton. He couldn't take the mark, could he? It's going over the boundary line. So we'll have a boundary throw in, and Southern Crocs looking in a dangerous position. 5 minutes into this one.
Yeah, so really good first 5 minutes of this one. Ball down there in Southern District's forward line. That's Robinson. Taken out of the ruck there by Dunstan. Ball spills there to Sexton around the corner. It was going to go out of bounds there. Sort of sits up. It gives Kevin Moroney their time. He goes back across goal and kicks it to his vice-captain there. The mark there taken by Clark. He hasn't wasted any time. Little chip and the mark there taken by Sharples. So Sharples not too much to go to. Moroney's moving for him. It was actually a really good kick. Players go in. Picked up there. Almost not a proper handball there. Clark's there. Players over it. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in right in front of us on the half-forward flank for Southern Districts.
So yeah, tight tussle, and good to see both teams really wanting to have a true contest and test themselves ahead of the final series. Dennis, he'll play against Atkinson. You'd think a fair way through this one. There he was on Sterling Mitchell, and Dennis doing the work at ground level as well. Trying to work, it was Maney. Probably in pole position there, but couldn't take the mark, but it's worked itself to centre half forward. Snapping round is Dunstan for the first of the day, and he gets it straight through the big sticks, and the big fella's got a snag.
Yeah, good player, Dunstan. He's kicked a lot of goals for Southern Districts this year. He's going to be a very important part of their crusade on finals. So good to see him drill the first one. And he's got a partner in crime there, Dunstan and Mazzini. They're two sort of taller forwards there for Southern Districts. Very crucial to their setup. They're sort of the twin towers up there. Two very, very good key forwards. And as I said, are going to play a very, very important part in their quest for a premiership in 2023.
And you might have seen there on the replay, Ethan Maney probably in pole position, didn't take the mark, but followed up his work, and I think that's what Districts have done well. They do have a lot of doubters, but I think they do the small things right, which is probably why they are still sitting top of the table here, Clint.
Yeah, they're a very contested team, so perhaps the wide open spaces of a TIO Stadium, perhaps not for them. Ball one out of there. Robinson's first there. Attacked there by Dill Barry. Players going at it. I think that's Main. He picks up, spins around. That's a beautiful kick, and it's a hard lead to the pocket. And the mark there taken by Luke Smith, one of Southern District's representatives in the NTFL rep side earlier this year. And he looks confident.
He's a gun, Luke.
Yeah, and he's had a sensational set. Doesn't even look like he's going to run around here. He looks confident with the drop punt. Ball's going to drop right on the line there. The big fellas go up. Well done there by the Buffs defender. And he takes a mark, and Buffs will clear from the full back line.
Coming out now. He was looking for his man there in Sketcher. Couldn't find him. Sketcher made to work. Mitch Robinson getting involved too, but good work from Southern Districts there in Mentha and Waitman to nullify the contest. We'll have a boundary throw in about 60 or 70 metres out from District's goal. Probably looked a little bit cleaner in this one, but it's a tight tussle. Dennis will go up again. Should win that one easily, but gets it down only as far as Rodos, and Buff's working it forward. Good mark there from Driscoll. Couldn't take it in the end. Had to roll back around. Very tight on the boundary, so just kicked high and kicked it down the line. Dennis will be at the fall of this. He might have to do the crumbing here. Maney flew. Couldn't take it, but could put some good contest in the air. Now getting to it is Sexton. He'll pick it up in a bit of space on his left. Gee, that's a bit of a grubber along the ground, but it might work out. Now here's Ellis Yeoman. He kicks on goal. Sprays it wide. And they're behind, so they move to 1-1-7. And they're looking lively.
Yeah, just wrestled momentum off this one. Actually, that is a free kick paid off the ball there. I thought we heard an umpire's whistle, so it's going to be a free kick on the defensive 50 there for the Buffs. Comes out wide, honours Robinson. Not the greatest kick. Ball set up for him well. He's under the pump a little, gathers, throws one on the boot forward, goes there to Mitchell. Driscoll's right there with him. Driscoll went the bump instead of the tackle, allowed Mitchell to play on. He sends one deep inside 50. Southern Districts are under it. Well picked up there by Waitman. Nice quick hands. Players go back in. Ben Galbraith there. He picks up again, little handball. And picked up there by Armat Watkins. Has a flying shot at goal just across the face and registers the Buffs' first score of the day. And we've gone exactly 10 minutes in this first quarter.
Good work there from the Buffs. Districts definitely making it hard for themselves there in the back line. Armat Watkins nearly came out with what would have been a sensational goal. And here, this kick out to Mazzini really hasn't caused much damage. Let's see what he can do. He goes to Dennis. That's much better. Big, strong mark. Just look for him at every contest, and you're half a chance, or more than half a chance to win the contest. He goes to Ellis Yeoman now. Goes further afield to Sexton. He goes a short, sharp one down the line. Finds his skipper in Staunton. Goes over the top. They've got numbers here. Now he finds McQueen. McQueen centres it.
Just held
good attack on the ball there from Maroney. Smith, he crumbs it and kicks it across the face, just bounces inside, or is it over the boundary line? It is, so out on the full, and we'll have a free kick from the Buffs defenders.
Yeah, kick just had a tiny bit too much on it there for Dill Barry. As Buffs try to clear, first one back there is going to be John Ross. Handballs there, I think that's Driscoll, running hard, good vision, just lowered the eyes there and hits up Bo Schwartz, who's not the biggest man on the field. He's taking the mark about 45 metres out, probably going to kick from about 50. And looks confident. He's taking the mark there in front of Tyrone Bean. Not too much movement in front. He lines up, gives it a fair roost. Umpire moves to their right, just across the face. And 3 for 1 behind. Southern Districts move to 1-3-9. Darwin Buffs 1 point.
And on the flip side, I reckon the Buffs in these situations should look for where Dennis is and kick it elsewhere, which is more or less what they've done. He was looking for Stokes there, but hasn't found him. Lucky to get away with a touch on the ball there, so it won't be a free kick. It'll just be a ball up out on that far back flank.
Yeah, Will, it's a fair... I see Sterling Mitchell starting in the ruck there against Matty Dennis. He's giving away 20 to 25 centimetres, I would have thought, and a lot of body size as well. So I'm not sure if that's how they plan their structure on going into finals. They do have Christopher Atkins there. They got Armat Watkins, and they've got the big fella Dan Stafford from Ulamu Mount Allen down there. and they've got Tom Jock as well. So Sterling Mitchell must have a big lead because they're playing him in the ruck. Good luck to him.
Yeah, and Mitchell and Atkinson have been their or Atkinson and Mitchell, I should say, have been their number 1 and number 2 choice for ruck. For most of the season, from what I've seen, I think Stafford might chip in if the ball's deep in their forward line, similarly with Jock when it's down in their back line. But yeah, an undersized ruck is a very different area to what they were last year with the big man Ben Archard for them. Ball rolls over the boundary line in Southern District's forward line, and they might have another crack here. Looks like Dunstan will face off in the ruck here against Atkinson. Dennis just lurking a kick behind play. That throw in short might work out for the Crocs. Oh, going through very strongly with Stanley, and he's earned himself a high tackle. Not sure about that one, just given how quickly he was running through. He could almost run his neck into your arm, and he would have gotten one there.
Well, he put his head over the footy, and we know that when you put your head over the footy, you're the one that's going to win the free kick. So it will be interesting to rewatch that one. And just, Will, we are doing live stats today, so something we'll be doing for the finals. There'll be live stats, so we'll have team stats plus individual player stats at quarter time, half time, 3/4 time. Something to look forward to.
So that kick goes through from Taj Stanley. They get their second on the board. They move to 2-3-15, leading the Buffaloes by 14 points, who have just a solitary behind to their name. Yeah, as a stats man, I'm looking forward to that. Getting some numbers around my head and just really seeing who's had the big impacts throughout the game. Because often there'll be a few players go missing under the radar. You don't quite see them until you look at the stats at the end of the game. You think, actually, Stokesy did do well off half-back. Yeah,
it's like when someone asks you to give your votes halfway through the first quarter, you're 3-2-1, and then you drive home and you think, bugger, I missed him, and I missed him.
Yep.
So players can creep under. Yeah, but that's a great initiative, and not just individual stats, team stats as well. So you sort of get a feel for the pattern of the game through the numbers, which will be really, really good to look forward to in finals. Dennis wins that one, as he's probably going to do most of the day, not to the advantage of Southern Districts. Players all over it. Umpire Stark says, give it to me and we'll go again. Atkinson, Dennis. Ball didn't sit there for McQueen. Shark there by the goal kicker Stanley. Comes to Matty Shannon. Back to Fijo. Fijo drills it inside 50. Just didn't sit there well for the ruckman. Ball comes back there to Bean. He's under all sorts of trouble. Ellis Yeoman corralled him and said, I want a free kick for deliberate. He was clearly under pressure, had the right to do that. 3 for 1 behind, and the Buffs bring it out with a beautiful kick and the mark on the halfback flank taken by Aaron Stokes.
He's got Jared Stokes short and sharp ahead if he wants. He will go there. Don't know if that's 15. Umpire says go for it. He plays on now, goes inside the centre corridor. Sharples running through. Good work there from Sharples. He's earned himself a free kick, has he, as well? I think he has for being hit late. Got rid of it as he was being tackled and another player's come in. So he'll give it off to Stokes, and why wouldn't you? Inside to Jock on the lead. Great lead from Jock. He's taken the mark, and that's more like what the Buffs want to be doing today.
Great footy, great kick. Lace out. The defender there for Southern Districts was almost body on body, but it hit him lace out. He did not have to break stride, and that's a really good forward entry there from the Buffs. Let's see how he finishes this one.
So Jock being an irregular player, I guess you could say, in terms of his appearances over the last 2 or so seasons for the Buffs. We played about 15 games all up. Important part of their lineup. That one's gone through for a goal, and the Buffs are on the board. 1-1-7. They trail Southern Districts 2-4-16 in a 9-point game.
I reckon a bit of a salute after that one, Will. He liked that one. Beautiful kick. Never looked like missing.
And he's a really important addition to their lineup because I think you look at Buffs, and their strength is definitely their pace.
Yeah.
But the pace can be a bit one-dimensional, and if it's not on, they don't have anyone really as a key target to kick to. Big Lukey Whelan's playing at fullback today on Matt Shannon, which I think is... No, not Matt Shannon, sorry, on Sam Dunstan, which I think is an interesting matchup because I think Whelan, when he's on, I've seen him against Palmerston, had 5 or 6 shots for the day and just looked unstoppable. But I'll let Cameron Stokes do his thing and I'll see how he goes at full time.
So umpire Cypress Hart back in the middle. Mitchell actually won that one. Couldn't get it to anyone. Bo Schwartz goes in there, lays a tackle. Southern Districts, as we said, contested side. The open spaces of TIO perhaps concern me a tiny bit. However, I've been one of their biggest supporters this whole season. I think every time I've seen them play, they've been dominant. I really like what they've got on the park and what they bring. Can they bring that pressure over these massive open spaces of TIO compared to perhaps Southern Districts Oval, Norbuild Oval? Will be interesting to see. I think it's St Mary's played this ground better than anyone will, and the way they transition the ball from defence to attack, I think they're experts at playing TIO. So it's a really good hit out today for Southern Districts. It'll be their last hit out. They'll have the bye next week, finishing on top of the ladder, and then we'll play for a chance to get into the grand final in the second week of finals. Big Dennis throws it on the boot forward. Umpires plucked a free kick there, and it's going to be a free kick there to Whelan. There wasn't too much in it.
They've been hot on their whistle the last few minutes, the umpires, so interesting to see how that will follow throughout the day. That kick down the line has come out the back and found Kyle McBean very handily. He'll go further to Jock, just goes through his hands. Good pressure on there from his opposing number, the Southern Districts defender. Didn't quite see who that was. Might have been Mazzini playing a backline role. So a few positional changes in the coaches today, Clint.
Yeah, just experimenting with a few things before finals. We're through 19 minutes now, so almost ticking on into time on in this first quarter. Really good contest. One there by Dennis down in front, and in front of the Wanderers clubhouse over there, which I reckon will be cranking tonight. It's their last game of the season for their men's and women's, so I'm actually staying in the room next door, and I don't plan on getting much sleep for the next 3 or 4 nights if that's true to form. Umpire launches in. Dennis, Robinson Sharks, throws it on the boot inside 50. Bowden's there. Stokes is there. That's a really good matchup. That'll be one to watch today. Comes there to Shannon. Heard the voice. Couldn't hit the target. Bowden goes back in there. He's harassed there by Ahmet Watkins. And umpire says we'll do it all again.
So we tick over 20 minutes in the first quarter here, and you're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season. It's round 18 action between the Crocs in first place and the Buffs in 5th place. Robinson trying to get to the ball. Hasn't really seen much of it today, the former Carlton and Brisbane Lion player. Ball rolls over the boundary line. In fact, it's a free kick. I think that was deliberate there. Umpires just caught him back. Now we're away. He kicks a high one inside 50 in the Stafford direction, but Dennis is there. And gee, he's tall even amongst Stafford's standing.
He does, doesn't he? Stafford's not a short man, but Matty Dennis outshines him out there. It looks double the size.
Bowden gets it over the top, now running through Schwartz. He goes to McQueen, and 2 Crocs have almost collected each other. Bounced up quick enough. Now in the middle of the ground, a Buffs player try to get onto it in Eldridge. Goes out the back and getting onto it again will be McQueen. In a bit of space, he'll handball inboard to Maney. Maney will go backwards now, and a short one over the top in there to Barry. Timmy Eldridge just giving a little elbow there to his opposing number. It'll be a free kick to Aaron Stokes. He'll go to Jared Stokes. Through traffic, he just kicks a high one up. Sexton will gobble this one up easy, and now roll around. Good to Ronnie Fijo.
Oh, I thought I was going to pay 50 then for a second. Just
bit of late contact there. That kick from Fijo rolls over the back and over the boundary line. And yeah, it does feel a bit like that. The players are kind of wanting to get involved in a bit of rough and tumble, but you can almost feel like they're anticipating the umpire's whistle. Just holding back a little bit. Robinson on Dunstan in the ruck. Now goes over the top. Schwartz, he'll roll around and snap on goal. Very happy with that one. And goes through. Districts extend their lead again.
Yeah, nice opportunist goal there for Bo Schwartz. He's a good player for Southern Districts. Usually good for 1 or 2 goals a week, and you'll need them come finals as your avenues to goals dry up a little bit. So, again, very important player for Southern Districts, but a great player. Was very, very serviceable last year, and another player very important to their quest for a grand final this year is Cam Ellis Yeoman. He's been off the ground about 3 or 4 times this first quarter, so I'm not sure if it's his first game back, Will. I dare say he's playing so he can qualify for finals if he hasn't already. But yeah, he'll be good for a run under the belt, and again a handy addition come finals. Umpire throws up, must almost be quarter time here, not a high scoring quarter, 23 minutes gone. Ball comes down there to the bus, picked up by Stokes, turns on a dime, manages to get rid of it. Fijo's in there, ball spills out there to Grant. Grant feigns, then he gives the handball there to Vrodos. Vrodos with a beautiful kick there to Mitch Robinson. Fraser Driscoll's with him. They clip heels there. Mitch Robinson says, I want a free kick for that. It's always a little bit controversial one when the players are running after the ball and they clip heels, because it looks like more's happened than what has. But generally, it should be called play on, which it was then. It's a good call by the umpire, and we'll have a boundary throw in the forward pocket.
So as we say, just a minute or 2 left in this one, and again you can see how undersized Sterling Mitchell is in the ruck against Dennis. Dennis just gets it easy, and Siren will beat them all to it. So quarter time, it's 1-1-7. Darwin Buffaloes trailing Southern Districts 3-4-22. We're running quickly through the goal scorers. For Crocs, it's Taj Stanley, Bo Schwartz and Sam Dunstan who kicked the first of the day. Meanwhile, for the Buffaloes, Tom Jock has their solitary goal. We'll be back after this quarter time break.
Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 NTFL season, TIO NTFL season. Quarter time here at TIO Stadium. Southern Districts 3-20, leading the Darwin Buffs 1-1-7. And Will, just quickly, we've using this new stats now. We've got access to the stats from the first quarter. What's some key stats from that first quarter?
Well, Matty Dennis in the ruck, no surprises there. He's got 12 hit-outs. He's leading all comers, and Southern Districts have 13 to just 2. Another stat which has jumped out at me is Lukey Whelan. He leads all comers with 3 rebound 50s. There's about a dozen other players with just the 1. Wasn't sure if that'll work, but so far looks like he's doing okay. He's only got the 3 kicks so far on the 1 mark, but we'll keep a progress on some of those stats throughout the day. In terms of disposals, Stokes and Dennis leading all comers on 8 each. McQueen with 7 and Jock with 5 and Robinson with 4 for the Buffs.
So there you go. That's our new initiative, which will roll into the final. So that's great. Southern District 70 disposals, Darwin Buffs 50 disposals in that first quarter. So pretty much how we saw it. Southern District's just ahead in that first quarter. Interesting to see how the Buffs come out in this second quarter and whether they can wrestle back some momentum as the ball goes out of bounds on the far side directly under the scoreboard, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Goal kickers for that first quarter for Southern Districts. Stanley kicked 1, Schwartz kicked 1, and Dunstan kicked 1. And the singular goal kicker for the Buffs was Thomas Jock. And Buffs kicking with a slight breeze this quarter to the right of screen. Dill Barry, handball over the top. Oh, McQueen caught one then. It might have been a backhand. I'm not even sure if it was deliberate or not. I just saw it in my peripheral vision. Fijo's saying it was. He caught one really hard. Actually, we got a replay here. And we'll just watch it. Oh, it wasn't even really a backhand. Almost like a shoulder to the chin, perhaps. Probably not as much in it as what I first thought.
Just in a bit of body contact there. Nothing too untoward in that, though it is feeling a bit fiery as it did in that first half of the first quarter. We know that these teams have a bit of an interesting recent history against each other, with a game called off, and a free kick has just been turned over to Ellis Yeoman. He'll give it off now, running through Matt Shannon.
Umpires called it back, Will.
In fact, it was Jake Menther, sorry, but nonetheless, as you said, it'll be called back. Mitch Robinson's just conferring with umpire Stark here. They've got to be careful if they turn it over again.
So, I'm not too sure what's happened here. Perhaps it was reversed, or the players thought it was one way. What's happened here? They paid advantage and paid the goal, perhaps.
It looks like they have. So that's a goal then to Jake Menther. And Southern Districts move out. So here we go. Just have a quick look on the replay here. Ellis Yeoman looked like he was sort of held by Sharples off the ball.
He threw Sharples to the ground. So in my eyes, it should have been a free kick there to Sharples. So I'm not sure how.
Might have paid the first free there, or not sure exactly what the go is. But yeah, bit bewildered. But I think the score there goes to 4-2-26, and they're leading the Darwin Buffaloes on 1-1-7. We'll just try and get that updated on your scoreboard. Jock, he now comes out wide now. I think this is Bean with it here on the wing, the Morris Rioli grandstand side. Gets it off there to Cassidy, I think it was. In fact, sorry, it was Cassidy. Goes down the line. Matt Watkins is switched into a forward role, couldn't take the mark there, and goes over for a boundary throw in.
Yeah, Driscoll right with him there. It's going to be a tough day for Matt Watkins there. Driscoll, one of the emergencies for the NTFL rep side, very unlucky to miss. An absolute star player with some VFL experience, I believe, from Melbourne. So, ball comes down, bounces back in, players go in there. That was Favretto and Jack Palmer for Southern Districts, and we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of us. Mitch Robinson lurking at this clearance. Matty Dennis in front, up against Atkinson. You're going to have to say Matty Dennis is going to win them. He just says, I'm taking this with 2 hands. Comes down to Staples on his left boot. High towards forward 50. Sexton's there. He roped it really, really well. After him was Stafford. Ball comes there to Bowden. He's dispossessed. Picked up there by the Buffs. Little kick forward, and it was well done there. And just with a couple of metres of space inside the forward 50 was Tom Clark. the Buffs vice captain. And he's going to have a set shot with the man on the mark about 30 metres out. He'll kick from about 35-40.
Wasn't a good handball there from Sexton to Bowden. Bowden really under the pressure there, and Buffs have ended up with a shot on goal.
So Tom Clark. Breeze seems to have died down a little bit at the moment. At the start of this quarter was going slightly right of screen. Doesn't seem to be a lot of breeze in the flags at the moment. Hit it quite well, never came back, but across the face of goal, through for one behind. And that moves the Buffs to 2 goals, 2-14. Southern Districts 3 goals, 2-20. And we've gone 5.5 minutes in this second quarter.
That scoreboard we'll just have to confirm. I think it might be an extra goal to Districts and one less to the Buffs. I think that's just corrected on your scoreboard now. Now back with Southern Districts. A short one inboard to Smith. Goes through his hands, but he'll run onto it. Gee, under pressure there from Eldridge. Eldridge is really making his presence felt. If not on the ball, then certainly off it. Waitman, he went back with it. Brave going back against a player. Into the centre of the ground again they go. Here comes Shannon. Shannon will run away with it. And it's getting involved here.
Bit happening off the ball there.
A few fists going. Need to be careful there. Head of flying. It was not good from Dean Staunton at all.
Drew a fist in there. I'm not sure if it landed. McQueen got manhandled. He was not happy. He got up and
from everywhere.
Retaliated. And boys, you've got finals next week.
Don't want to be without your captain. And Districts in particular. Umpire's just going to ball it up, so Sexton
well done.
Jock. Jock will take it, get it down, and Vrodos was wrapped up straight away. Fight sort of spills out now, and it's back with eyes on the footy. Players just getting back to their positions. They'll be pretty tired out there after that little scuffle.
Just looking around for Mitch Robinson. He looks like he would... This is his bread and butter. I'm just trying to find out where he is. He's probably not too far away. As umpire Bitterscum throws it up, clips the heels, gets up straight away. It's all happening here at TIO Stadium. We thought it was going to be a dead rubber. She's on. Michael Bowden spins round. Mark not taken there by Maney. Picked up there by Buffs, just thrown on the boot forward. There's all sorts of space out here. Looks like it's just perhaps going to sit in and trickles out. First to it there was Galbraith for Southern Districts. He couldn't keep it in, and we get a boundary throw in, 60 metres around.
And Mitch Robinson was exactly where you want in that situation, and that's with his bum on the bench. Not getting involved, not getting too heated, but he'll be hot and fired and ready to go when he does get out there. Dennis gets another hit out down. Handball will come out now to Sexton. He goes down the line, not a good kick though, and it rolls over the boundary line. Didn't see, I'm sure there will be, but didn't see any umpires writing in books at that stage. They might have to have a look back at the tape, but didn't look good there for a number of players. And as you said, finals ahead, and particularly for Southern Districts, they've got a bye in that first week, so sort of one less game to get over any weeks off they might have. Now comes back in. Here's Robinson rolling around. Surprised us with 4 disposals and third on all comers for the Buffs in that first quarter, but he's definitely live in this one. Now comes to Stokes. Stokes snaps it through the big sticks. What a goal that was. And Buffaloes hit back after that little scuffle. They're here to play.
Yeah, so Southern District's probably been the better team, not by a lot in this first quarter and a half, but they inside 50s have been more, and they've had the run of play. So for the Buffs to kick that one, they moved to 3 goals, 2-20. Southern District's 4 goals, 2-26. There's not a lot. Is that the right score, Will? Or 2 goals, 2-14.
Yep. So it's a 12-point lead to Southern Districts. I think that's accurate at this stage.
So they're still in this game. 12 points. He's getting heated out there. As we said, I'm sure the MRP will have a look at what happened before. Very hard for us sitting so far away to see with those many players around exactly what happened. But looks like they'll have a look at that. And umpire Cypress Hart strolls in there. And he's going to launch one up. It's Atkinson against Dennis. Dennis slaps it forward. Picked up there by Vrodos. He throws it on the boot forward. Bounces up. Driscoll's there. Spills to Ahmet Watkins. Umpire's whistle goes. And it's going to be a free kick there to Big Stafford. Daniel Stafford, who's no stranger to kicking goals. He kicks a lot of goals down at Traeger Park in Alice Springs. for his community side and for his town side down there. So he's got a massive leg on him. He's going to be kicking from about 48 metres out. When he's fit and firing, he's a very, very good key forward, one of the better key forwards in the territory. Kicks from about 46. Umpire moves to the right.
He likes it though.
However, says that's gone through. Well done there to Dan Stafford, and the Buffs are right back in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sure if, again, we don't really know what sparked that little frenzy in the middle of the ground about 3 or 4 minutes ago, but since then Buffs have kicked 2 goals, and whether it was the Districts who started or not, maybe it wasn't the best move for them. They're still in the lead of this one, but you feel like momentum has definitely shifted since that first quarter. Mind you, Buffs are kicking down the airport end, which we know a lot of people see as the goal scoring end here at TIO Stadium. 10.5 minutes through the first quarter, the second quarter here, sorry. And a lot of fire in the belly for a number of players. Dennis, another hit out down. Mentha gets a handball out wide. No, he doesn't. Gets intercepted and wrapped up in the tackle again. And there's a free kick from umpire Stark going the way of the Buffs. Robinson will take it. Plays on quickly. Goes again straight down that centre corridor. Stokes was lurking at the back. Waitman, he'll give it off to Driscoll. Driscoll hit as he kicks it and it goes off the side of the boot. Maney getting to it. He's got Stokes to beat. In fact, Xavier Grant. Grant beats all 3 of them against him. Kicks it in now to the lead of Armat Watkins. Takes it just inside the boundary line. Try to handball it inboard. Stafford takes it. Umpires pinged him for an incorrect disposal. Will go the way of Districts.
And the free kick there to Jack Palmer. Umpire paid a throw there. He kicks inboard, and a lot of space there is Mazzini, who's pushed down back, trying to get himself into the game. Doesn't have a lot of movement forward. Umpire's going to tell him to play on. Puts it on the boot, goes wide to Matty Dennis, and that's a great kick and a great mark. And look, with his size difference, man, the absolute gunner he is. He's generally going to be their target out when they come out of defence like that. Kick didn't necessarily favour the Southern Districts player there. Dropping it off at the Buffs. He takes a good mark. Drills one inboard, and the mark there taken by Cassidy. So Cassidy in the centre square here at TIO Stadium. Stinking hot day today. Just goes down the middle. He's going to get a one-on-one here. Ball spills over the back. I think McQueen's going to be first one there. He's in the
collision.
Troubles today, McQueen, but he bounced back up. Ball comes out to Robinson. Robinson round on his right boot. And he's really working himself nicely into the game. He missed that one, 3 for 1 behind, but the Buffs certainly have the run of play.
Driscoll from fullback. Been solid down there for them all year. Looking for Smith. In fact, he's gone and found McQueen running back with the flight. He goes long to Ellis Yeoman. Ellis Yeoman again back with a flight on Will Robinson. Looks to move it downfield.
Great
Very
kick.
quick transition. Barry the target. Went beyond him. Bradley Stokes, he couldn't quite keep it in possession. Now handballs it back through traffic. Not sure about that one. An errant kick will find Bowden. Bowden just hooks it round into the hot spot. Shannon will contest it. The fall of it is Schwartz. Good work, though, from Clark. He just spun around, got it out of there. Kicks it out Vrodos. Vrodos will mark and play on. Goes inboard now, finds Favretto. Favretto will turn and go. He goes to Robinson at half forward. In fact, it'll bounce into Stokes' lap. He just drew the defender, got it off to Robinson. Robinson handballs it further afield again. Now Armat Watkins over the top to Stafford in the goal square. Easy as you like. And the Buffs hit the lead. 3 goals in a row in this quarter. And the tides have definitely turned here at TIO Stadium.
Beautiful footy there by the Darwin Buffaloes. They transitioned that ball beautifully from defence to attack. Every possession was spot on. Robinson was going to have a ping, handballed over the top in the forward 50. As we have a look at it here, it was a 2-on-1. Robinson picked up, had the loose player over the top. That was Armat Watkins. He spotted one over the top there to Big Stafford, and he doesn't get many easier than that. He's drilled his second, and what a turnaround in this second quarter. Southern Districts were the better team in the first quarter, and Buffs have come out absolutely firing, and we look like we got a really good game of footy. So ball back in the middle. Umpire Stark goes up. Mitchell, Dennis, down to Sexton. He's dispossessed. Cam Ellis-Yeoman heard the voice. Beautiful handball. Comes to Mentha. Comes back to Sexton. Sexton's been prolific in this game. Comes out wide. Maney goes inboard, then turns outboard. Throws it on the boot. coming up there, and really the only one that wanted it was Bo Schwartz. He attacked it. You to lead from his forward inside 50 to the pocket. It's a 2-on-1. Right, the meat in the sandwich there was Whelan. Ball goes to the top of the square there in a dangerous position. Smith had one hand free. He was getting held with the other hand. Umpire Stark correctly picked that up, and right on the top of the goal square there, Luke Smith. It was an ominous position. It's a very, very dangerous spot. And when it comes in one-on-one like that, actually it was a jumper hold, and you could clearly see that in the replay. Smith puts it through, and Southern Districts wrestle back some momentum. They move to 5 goals 3-33. Darwin Buffs 4 goals 3-27. And we've gone 15 and a half minutes in this second quarter.
Chaotic game here at TIO Stadium. It doesn't really feel like that momentum, while it's there, is really holding one way or the other, and easy as that. Counter-attacks and chaos ball is sort of the way it's going today, isn't it, Clint?
Yeah, it's a it's a unique game of footy, Will. To be honest, I came here today thinking I'm not sure what to expect, a dead rubber, and what it was going to be like out there, but there's some heat. There's been some chaos footy, and there we look like we're set for a good game.
Ball comes down now. Vrodos gets a handball out to Favretto. Favretto out wide. Aaron Stokes on the wing, playing a slightly different role today, and Vrodos will keep running. He kicks it forward now. Matt Watkins will chase it to the boundary line. Getting to it first was Delahaye, but he takes it over the boundary. We'll have a throw in. 60 out from their goal. Mitch Robinson lurking at full forward. Dennis again taking ruck duties against Mitchell here. Even his arms there, I think his arms just stretched well across Mitchell's body, and he got the hit out, and Districts are away. Handball intercepted there from Will Robinson, who just got a hand in the way. Otherwise they would have been away through Schwartz and out the back. Dangerous forward line up there today. They've obviously got the big fella Sam Dunstan, Dill Barry, who I think's played some pretty handy footy in Central Australia for Rovers as well as up here for Southern Districts. And Luke Smith, though, Luke's playing a bit in the middle of the ground now. That hit out again from Dennis will go to the boundary line. Staunton will caress it over, who may be playing his last 3 quarters of footy this week. The last few for a couple of weeks, clean after that little scuffle before.
Yeah, interesting to see what comes of that. So directly on outer centre wing, umpire launches in. Mitchell trying his heart out. He's just up against such a bigger body. Staunton, the captain, in there. Buffs win the handball. Only as far as Ellis Yeoman. He goes to Smith. Oh, almost ran himself in trouble. Mitchell almost got him. Umpire well and truly off the ball there. Stark paid that one and paid it for high. So the ball's going to come back there for a high tackle on Smith, and he gets the free kick. He goes inboard to Bowden. Bowden probably not his prolific self so far. They haven't really controlled the ball off half back. Goes down there to Dennis. Schwartz comes charging at it. Dennis, the leading possession winner in the first quarter, picks it up, throws it on his boot. I think that comes there to Schwartz on his left boot. Goes around, taken there by Kevin Morone. He must have just been the 15. And the man from Catherine, who plays for Eastside Footy Club down in Catherine, a very, very reliable defender, makes the trip up every week to play for the Buffs. He kicks in, and the mark taken by the Buffs. Little kick over the top there to Bean. And Stanley manning the mark directly on the 50-metre paint. Bean riskily goes inboard. Staunton knew he's going to cop one. Jock says, thank you very much, I'll take that. Puts it out in front of his teammate there. Matt Watkins. Matt Watkins has got Clark running for him forward, hits him lace out. Clark runs to 30 metres, and again, magnificent transition by the Buffs. Clark, the vice captain, likes it, and this is really, really good footy from the Buffs.
Yeah, great transition play there. I think the hesitation from Staunton sort of summed up that little bit of play. Here you can see Jock just going forward, perfectly weighted for Matt Watkins to run onto. Had plenty of time and space. He's gone forward, and again, Clark barely broke stride. He had to do a little kick jump, and away he goes, and straight through the middle. That's his bread and butter, running into an open goal like that.
So Buffs up by 1 point, almost in time on in this second quarter. Lead's been seesawing now. And the ball back in the middle, and Emma Stark will ball up.
4 goals to 2 this quarter in the Buffs' way, and Atkinson with a hit out there, although wrapped up straight away by Stokes with Sexton, and we'll have another crack at that through umpire Stark. Balls it up now. Buffs again. They're on the go. Matt Watkins couldn't take it cleanly under pressure there from Driscoll. Now gets a handball out to Stafford. Stafford a handball out to Clark. Clark will snap towards goal again. It's offline. Will he get a lucky bounce? No, just through for a behind. In fact, I think it's hit the boundary line post, so we'll have a throw in. Very close to goal for the Buffs as we click over 20 minutes here. And just a reminder, you're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 NTFL season from TIO Stadium here in Darwin. Round 18 action between the Buffs and the Districts.
It's a dangerous throw in here. Umpire's coming a long way. She's going to throw it right in the hot spot there. Dennis in front. Shark there by Southern Districts. Just hacked one out. Ball not taken there by the Buffs. Players dive on. Thought I'd heard an umpire's whistle then. I didn't. Bowden feints one, feints two. Shanks a left foot forward. Picked up by Storm. He just says, I'm getting it out of this trouble, and drills it towards centre half forward. Robinson laid a tackle there. Umpire judged it was over the shoulder. Oh, the ball was picked up there by Grant. He heard the whistle. He decided to play on, and it's been adjudged a 50-metre penalty, which in the true meaning of the rule, it was correct. So as we watch here, so that was a free kick there to Jack Palmer. Grant picks up. He heard the whistle. He chose not to listen to it. And it's cost his team 50 metres, and it's going to be a free shot at goal here for Palmer. Man on the mark about 25 metres, directly in front. They'll be kicking from 30, and this to wrestle back the lead for Southern Districts just before half time. Jack Palmer doesn't hit it well to the right of goal.
Scores a level.
And yeah, scores level, which is probably due course, Will. I think that's probably where this game sits. Southern Districts on top first quarter. Buffs come back at them this second quarter. Been a really, really even game of footy. I think it's a fair call if these two go in at half-time dead level.
Even looking at individual stats and plays, you know, we've got our stats coming for you at the end of each quarter, but there's no one who really stands out from what we've seen who I'd say is leading all comers. Perhaps the big fella Matty Dennis, but he's in a league of his own, and context-wise, not necessarily his best game here. Here's Atkinson on the ground now. Two Districts players run into each other. Kick goes into the middle of the ground now. In fact, it goes a bit further forward than that for the Buffs, but only gets it as far there as Ben Galbraith. They're still trying to work it forward, the Buffs. Eldridge, he tried to get through. Delahaye at the bottom of it too. So too is Galbraith again. Free kick will go Darwin's way. Sharples at the bottom of that pack there. He'll get the free kick.
Jock ran past with the handball there. He probably could have given it to him. They had an extra number here on that near side.
Good kick just into the centre corridor. Matt Watkins lurking at the back. A few players jumped and got ahead of him. Smith will take it. He's wrapped up. Umpires call play on. They get it out. Quick kick out there. Backwards. Fedro will have to collect it and be smooth and quick. He is. Handball further afield to Driscoll. Driscoll now crosses goal. Has to hit his target in Delahaye. He doesn't. And it rolls over the boundary line. So potentially got away with that one there. Always a dangerous kick across goal there, Clint. But they haven't turned it over.
Yeah, he saw the lead out there. His initial first thought was to go down the line, and then he switched thoughts and saw Delahaye on the outer side, but needed to hit that target. So let's see if they can hold firm here, Southern Districts. Buffs want to lock it in here and pinch one before half-time. Ball spills there to Jock. He spins inboard on his right boot, drills one forward, almost taken there by Sharples. Ball comes over the back to Stokes. Stokes on his right boot as he brought it round enough. He likes it, goal umpire likes it, and right before half-time, Buffaloes clear out to a 6-point lead.
That's Jared Stokes' bread and butter as well. Just running onto a loose ball, and you can see good work here from Jock. He just looked to centre it. A bit too tight of a pass, but yeah, picking it up like that is just what Jared Stokes does best. Not his best kick, but he spun it around enough and got it through the big sticks. They lead to a 6-point lead, and it's Jared Stokes' second goal for the quarter.
As Mitch Robinson comes on, siren surely not too far away. Quarters really go longer than sort of 25 minutes. As Mitch Robinson, he's going to attend this centre bounce.
So again, Sterling Mitchell with a good hop there, and he got the hit out down. Looks like it's Matty Shannon kicking it forward for them, but Moroney just getting back with it first, running back with the flight. He took the defensive mark. We'll shorten it now to Cassidy. He goes back to... They know they're well into red time here. Don't want to do anything silly and give away possession too easily in a dangerous position now with McQueen. He'll centre it to Waitman. Waitman, you'd think, could turn and go. He does. Ellis Yeoman on a short burst. He goes beyond him and a high one in the centre corridor to Dunstan. Dunstan takes a mark on Whelan. Good work there from the big fella, and he knows where to find them as well. A few weeks back, I think I saw him kick 7 in about 2.5 quarters against Tiwi.
Yeah, he's a goal kicker, Will, and I don't think Cam Stokes, the coach of the Buffs, would be too happy with that. He would have really wanted to hold this lead going into half time and to get a contested mark inside 50. I don't think he'll be very pleased at the minute.
Dunstan, I think he kicked the first goal of the game today. Comes in with that one. Umpire barely moved. And so Districts bring it back to all square, 6-3 apiece, 39 here at TIO Stadium. And a very interesting clash here. Some good goals, a bit of scuffle, and a lot more than you'd think a first versus fifth place where their positions can't change in the final round would bring to the table.
Yeah, like we said, important for both teams. Buffs want to take some momentum into their first week of finals, their elimination final against Nightcliff next week. So very important for them they showed up today, you know, and put in a good performance. They want to take some confidence and they want to take some good football into next week. It's do or die for them against Nightcliff. And like we said, Southern Districts, they get the week off. So they're finished top no matter what happens here. So they want a good hit out. So they get a week off and then they're playing for a spot in the grand final after that. So ball back in the middle, comes to Robinson. Perhaps it's taken high then. Umpire again, I think, off the ball. Perhaps Emma Stark paid that one. That was against Bo Schwartz, and we saw it from here, so it was a good call. I don't mind, Will, when the umpires off the ball pay it if they've got a better view. Sometimes the controlling umpire, there's a lot of players around the ball and you don't get the best view of it. So no issues when the non-controlling umpire pays that. Robinson wheels around. Ellis Yeoman kicked it into him. He's a big man.
Former teammates at the Lions, of course.
They clap hands. Now they're bumping shoulders, and Ellis Yeoman says, I'm going before you, and that is half-time here at TIO Stadium.
So it is 6-3 apiece, 39. We'll run you through our goal scorers. Jared Stokes and Daniel Stafford with 2 each for the Buffs. They kicked 5 that quarter. Both those players kicked 2 in that quarter. Tom Clark with their 5th, and Tom Jock kicked their first and only goal in that first quarter. Meanwhile, for the Crocs, they kicked 3 goals in that first quarter to Stanley, Schwartz and Dunstan. And also, Dunstan added to that tally with his 2nd in that quarter. Mentha and Luke Smith also got on the board too. We'll be back after this half-time break.
Ten, 15 seconds.
Hands it off to Campbell from outside 50. Goes to the hot spot. Bulks there, looking to contest. Takes it from ground level and snaps through. He gets his first. There goes the prime train. That's one for TikTok. Stokes picks it up. Just straightens himself up. Goes over the top, running into it in an open goal. And they get it through.
Vrodas, Johnny.
Courtesy of Johnny Vrodas.
Pierre Timmy Eldridge will kick from about 48 metres. Let's see how he pumps the old leg up. Puts it to the hot spot, comes out, almost a mark to Stafford. Picked up by Holtz Fitz. He gives it over to Tommy Bolch, who snaps it, and he's got another one, and it's a goal to Buffaloes.
Knows where to find him. Comes in. It's a beautiful kick, and he's very happy with that. Gives them a sniff. They for the Buffs. And handball backwards. Maybe an errant one for the Wanderers. Now comes out to Palmer, dances around one, gets a handball to the milestone man. Holt Fitz in his milestone game, 100. And he's got a goal finally on the board. Well done to him.
Kept having to go, Wanderers, haven't they?
Goes long, tied him in the pocket all by himself, uncontested mark.
Runs through the lines and
kicks over the top. And he's gotten it through, so reduces the margin to just 18 points. Stafford doing the ruck work in the forward line there for Buffs. Matt Watkins almost slung down. Stafford just snaps on goal. Is that gone through?
Yeah.
Oh, what a ripper that was.
That's what he can do, isn't he? Daniel Stafford there.
So too, boys. Now comes to Sterling Mitchell. He's burnt Matty Campbell.
Kicked the goal. Great finish there by Sterling Mitchell.
Run into each other. Stokes kept his feet. He paddles it through. Clark picks it up. Runs around one. Handballs it over the top. Umpire calls advantage. Now Collinson, the crummer, goes through. Kicks a goal. He's got one. Haley, your man.
Yeah, well done, Joey.
To rest up now. They've got that top 3 spot locked away. Kick inside 50. And Holt Fitz in the pocket all by himself in his milestone.
A good reward for Fitz's game. He's got that one out on the left.
Happy days. Well done, Liam. Congratulations on the goal and on 100 games. Buffs challenging them. Though who knows what Buffs will be fighting for and what districts he'll be resting for. Holt Fitz has got another goal. His 4th of the night, second in a couple of minutes. Just got a cheeky handball off from Matty Campbell. But it'll work, and Sharples will go inside 50 now again. Campbell has given off about 3. He'll give off another one to Holt Fitz. He runs around, goes into Clark. Clark now Campbell. He'll run into an open goal and finally get one. Good work to him on the siren, a buzzer beater. They'll win by 72 points, 15-17, 107. Darwin Buffaloes are beating the Wanderers 4-11-35 in a pretty dismal night for the Muck-Mucks. Round 1 as mentioned, so this should be an absolute cracker of a game. Now comes forward, Morris picks it up. Former Mitch Lee medalist from last year, he kicks on goal. Has that gone through for the first? What a start for Waratah, and what a goal to Eddie Morris. Board Carlin intercepted, and now he'll take it, gets a handball back to Carroll. Carroll just slick into the forward pocket to Hope. What a beautiful kick that was from the captain. Here comes their spearhead, Darcy Hope, from the pocket, very tight, trying to will it back. Has that gone through? It has, and Tars, 2 goals to start this one. They're on the board and looking very good. Good work to get it forward there was Fowler. He just centres it now. That might work for them. Calder off the ground through the big sticks. He's happy with it. He likes it. What do the umpires say? Straight through for 6 points to Carroll. But Green, he's just done the hard work. Now out to Yaron. Back to Lant. Lant inside 50 on the left. This will bring the house down if he can get it through. Oh, he has. What a goal. First goal of the 3rd quarter, and they reduce the margin to 6 points. A couple of weeks' time, hopefully. Ball comes down. Running through there. St Mary's player in Fowler. Moved into the middle, and Lant for 3 in a row for St Mary's. That's probably the best of the lot of them. Just rolls it through on his left, dribbles it through, and just easy as you like. They reduce the margin back to 6 points.
But the ground will be heavy, and I think it's taken its toll on some of the legs out there.
Morris gets it out. Kirby check sides it towards goal. Is that going through? What a goal that is from the big fella.
Yes, Arnie Kirby. He's the hero for a minute at least.
Benulis on our mat in the ruck. Morris tackle without it. Goulden runs through. In fact, that was Ankers who's run through, and he's kicked 1 too. 16 points they've skipped out to. More time to get to the contest as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Kirby. Good work from Hartung. Takes it off Kirby's handball, and that's gone through for a goal. Jai Hartung, well done. Reduces the margin to just 10 points again. It's a handball out to the big fella and back
too many handballs,
to him now. It's Fowler. Fowler handballs it through. Saints are on. Here comes the captain, Paredes. Shoots it through, and the scores are level, 12-8 apiece. As we head over 21 minutes in this final quarter here at TIO Stadium. Good mark. Saints in pole position now. He turns around, kicks it inside 50. Big Brandon Grenfell, the target. Can't take the mark. Hits the deck. Here comes O'Dwyer now. There's a free kick paid. Going the way of St Mary's and Big Brandon Grenfell.
I think the umpire deemed the attempt at a spoil there by Crocker as illegal. He ran straight at the player.
And there's the siren. So Grenfell needs to kick a score from here for them to win. Otherwise, it's a draw. Apiece. Here comes Brandon Grenfell walking in from the paint of 50. It's offline. Does it have the distance? It does. The Saints win in a thriller. 12-9-81. They've beaten Waratah on 12-8-80. And Brandon Grenfell, the hero.
And just a hurried right foot kick's not going to be great, but it's going to be good enough for Thompson. Thompson can put it out in front of a running Adam Tippenwoody, who gets to the 50, lines it up long and goes for the goals and puts it through using the aid of the breeze.
Running hard after the football. Nice handball, Lambton. Lambton gets it to a teammate. There's one of the Palmerston mulleted players, and the mark taken by Sam McNaughton. McNaughton goes long and picks up a teammate forward, and directly in front, the mark taken by Adam Parry. And moving in like a forward should, onto the right boot, aims for the left post, comes back beautifully. That's a goal. The Maggies are on the board. 1-1-7, trailing the Bombers 2 straight 12, and we've gone 11 and a half minutes into Q1.
Tiwi Bombers really working hard. Purnell now on to Rioli. Rioli balks once, then puts it on the left and just sets it into the square. The flyer up there was Stanley Tipalura. It's going to come down into the hands, though, waiting on the ground was William Munkara, and he puts it through for the Bombers' third. And picked up by Andrews. Andrews kicked it forward. It's going to be picked up by Sam Darley. Darley on the right boot looking for Wanamiri, who's back on, and then just uses his body again to outmark his opponent, Tyson Todd. And Wanamiri's going to go back and kick a goal.
Ball in dispute, right half forward to Palmerston Magpies in the van. Running around is McNaughton. McNaughton kicks it forward. Up they fly. No mark paid, and a free kick will be a push out in the marking contest. Ashley Menakaros, and that is Adam Parry. A crucial goal. Palmerston Magpies in front by 9. Kicks it and kicks it beautifully.
Yeah.
He just used the breeze beautifully, Adam Parry, at Kazali's Oval. Ball taken it deep in defence. The Magpies can't do anything right down there. They can't get it clear. Picked up by Farmer,
the big man Farmer.
Roy Farmer kicks a goal. Not a very good kick. Guthrie doesn't need a good kick. Guthrie's got it. Goes by hand beautifully. Back to Guthrie. Guthrie's not within scoring distance. Gets it forward. Mark dropped by Marika. Marika runs onto an open goal, and
that's going to be a goal.
Nails it.
How good was Marika?
Very, very good, Ashley Menakaros. The Magpies, Tyson Todd. Big man in defence. Done a good job down there. Sold the candy onto the left foot. Go forward the Magpies, and the mark taken pretty much directly in front. Josiah Farrer.
But he's done most of his work through the midfield, and now he's going to give it off. He has given it off to Langton. He doesn't want to take the risk. Langton from 45 out. He's getting applause in the goal square from Adam Parry, and all clear from goal umpire Joanne Wood. And the Magpies, if they didn't seal it before, they've sealed it now. Into the goal square. Butcher's got to work all the way there. He's held out of it though. Play on is the call. Hurried around the body, and taking the kick was Moody. And now it comes out to his running teammate, Rinaldi. Not to be confused with Ronaldo. It comes to Moo, and Moo with a right foot snap has put it through. All carriers just dragged to the ground. It's tough football out there as Rinaldi gives it off to a running teammate, and that teammate is coming through is Moody, and Moody gets his second for the night. Couldn't get it second time cleanly. They're really trying to get scrappy there. Hands again. It's in the hands of Chalmers. Chalmers gives it back to his teammate. It's a kick off the ground, and it's a kick through. The all clear given. There go the Pints. They've gone one. Now they've got two. You can put that down to Tyler Flanagan. Kick. It's going to be bouncing. Boss. Hands on it to Penrith. Can Penrith get it on and give it off? Yes, he can. He's got the runner through the middle. Now they're just going to go into the goal square. Kizza just going to bounce through. I think it is.
And that's brought the crowd right into it.
It has. And it was Harvey. Alex Harvey. Hard football out there at the moment. Wines. Just get it. Cleaned it out. Robinson sets himself. Punched away from him. It's a foot race. Moody's there. Moody soccers it off the ground and scores a goal. By his teammate. It's a bouncing ball. Nyhouse is wrapped up in a tackle. He can get it away. Wines has stepped around. Here they go. Pints. It's across the face. The arms are up. This looks good from here. And the all clear is given. And that's a goal.
And Wines gets the first one for Pint in this quarter.
He's one that's had to lift, and he has. Penrith just puts it on the pass to the lead, to his leading teammate, who can go in. And I reckon they're looking at number 2 right here. And they are. And that was Chalmers. It was actually Thomas' shot, number 5. Kick. Alex Harvey.
Very clumsy tackle, that one.
Was a little bit clumsy. Here they go. from outside 50. This looks pretty good. And it's Daniel Jackson who responds within a minute. Leading the race to the ball. Under the pressure there is Butcher, trying to keep it in. Pints defenders are going to get caught short here. This is problems for them, and it is. It's a goal. And it's Moody that has put that through.
Which is fourth for the night.
To extend the lead to 9 points. To 10 points. And makes no mistake.
It's a handy goal with a low-scoring quarter.
Who's going to come out firing here? Is it Cam Ellis?
Welcome back to TIO Stadium and NTFL's AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 NTFL season. We're all tied up here at half-time. Buffaloes, 6 goals, 339. Southern Districts, 6 goals, 339. It's a bit of a dead rubber, Will, as we've said plenty of times today, but the teams really aren't playing like that. Buffaloes need a good hit out. They want to take momentum into next week. If they could knock off Southern Districts today, they will be up and about for their elimination final against Nightcliff next week. Southern Districts, on the flip side, wouldn't want to go down to the Buffs, who are going to finish 5th on the ladder. And they want to take momentum through to their finals, and they're going to bye next week. So we're all tied up at half-time. What's been your thoughts on this first half, Will?
Yeah, it's been a really interesting one. I think you look at Southern Districts and their schedule as well. They're coming off a bye. They've got a bye next week, so slightly disrupted. You'd think they'd want to make the most of this game that they can, so that they ensure they've got a pretty solid hit out, and they'd be happy with the way it's going. I think, led by Shannon Rasker in the coach's box here. But yeah, it's been a very hot game. Obviously, we know the scores are level here at half-time, and it feels like the Buffs have come to play, and they're here to prove a point more so than Southern Districts. So I'm expecting them to keep edging their way and try and edging their way ahead. Southern Districts, I think, they've got the talent, the X factor to stay there, but we'll see how we go.
All right, we are sampling live stats here, so we'll hit some of those key ones up. It's the clearance there, won by Robinson. Ball comes down there to Armat to Stafford. Gets his boot on it. Ball goes down the forward pocket. We'll get a boundary throw in. So we've just regained vision there. So key stats, Will, for the first half?
Yeah, so Matty Dennis, he's the one we're watching. He's outsizing in all elements his ruck opponents. He's got 26 hit-outs, and his team has 27 against Darwin Buffaloes, who have a total of 10. So he's more than doubling them. In terms of disposals, no surprises here. Jared Stokes leading all comers with 13. He got 5 of those in that second quarter. And alongside him in the double blue colours of Rhodos and Mitch Robinson. Meanwhile, for Southern Districts, it is McQueen, Matt Dennis, Jack Sexton and Luke Smith with the most disposals. Interestingly, which probably wouldn't surprise you given the scores in that second quarter, but Darwin Buffalo's got a lot more of the footy. But Southern Districts statistically still doing a little better. So we'll see if it can hit the bus on the scoreboard or if they'll keep pinching away at this one.
So Vrodos had a shot there from 50. He kicked it straight down the throat of Matty Dennis. Mitch Robinson out there. He started this third quarter really, really well. It's a handball forward. Ball hovering on the boundary line there. Eventually trickles over and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Vrodos with 7 disposals in that second quarter. Really came alive in the centre of the ground as well. 2 clearances for the day.
So umpire launches in. Dennis against Atkinson. The ball goes over the back. Buffs player perhaps could have been held then. Come to Sexton, who's been in the wars today. He drills one forward and attacking it really hard. There was Whelan. He wanted it most, and he takes the mark on centre wing for the Buffs. He's got a runner next to him. That is Bean. Bean drives it to the pocket. and it was best read there by Matty Dennis, who is looking, almost locking in the 3 votes. He's clearly been the best player on the ground so far. Whether they win, lose or draw this game. Handball over the top, comes there to Smith. He shanks one forward. Menthan's there, well done. He's got support on the outside there. Comes to his Southern District's teammate. He tries to kick it out in front of Dill Barry there. The kick just had too much on it.
They had runners as well. That wasn't worked very smoothly for the Southern Districts. They had McQueen on and they had Dill Barry running into open goals, and Sharples was well behind McQueen, but yeah, just not a great kick from outside 50. Dunstan on Atkinson in the ruck again. Dunstan gets it down. Now to Dill Barry. Just throws it, shoots towards goal. Well wide out on the full. Bit hungry there. So it'll be a free kick going to Tyrone Bean.
Wind seems to pick up well. We look at the flags now, going to the right of screen as it always does, but yeah, pretty non-existent in the first half. Definitely picked up at the start of this third quarter.
Cassidy just goes a short lateral one. He now finds Bean again, back with the ball, gets it back to Cassidy. So a few players getting their hands on the ball a couple of times in a few minutes. That one wasn't really an easy one there for Sketcher to get his hands on. Now Fijo rolling back the other way for Southern Districts, and a very talented footballer. On his day, I reckon he's perhaps bar Dennis the best player in the Southern Districts outfit. That wasn't a good kick though, and opens up the door for Buffs to rebound. And a bit of pace has been taken out of this one with that half-time break, it feels like. Not as much attack on the ball, not as much sort of pace, and just seems a bit more calmer out there, doesn't it, Clint?
Yeah, it was pretty electric the first half, but definitely, yeah, not as intense this start of this third quarter. We've gone 4 minutes. We've got a boundary throw in on the outer side. Ellis Yeoman, he's going up against Mitchell. Mitchell, beautiful tap over the back, down there to Stokes. Kicks it in. Sexton chasing after it. Goes hard at it. Armat Watkins came the other way. Comes there to Mazzini. Mazzini goes to Dennis. Dennis goes into the middle with a beautiful kick. And the mark there taken by Fijo. He spins and goes. 2-on-1 out here to the Buffs. The kick favoured the leading forward there. Sexton front and square. Picks up. Handballs over the top. He's wrapped up there by Moroney. Umpire says we'll get a ball in 60 metres around from Southern District's goal.
Big Matty Dennis coming in to contest this one. He's got Cam Ellis-Yeoman, who statistically has had a pretty good game as well, leading all-comers or equaling all-comers for centre clearances. So his impact is definitely starting to be felt, particularly in the middle of the ground. Ball now working forward again for Districts. Wrapped up at the bottom of that, I think, was Cassidy with his bright orange boots.
And he'll be better for the run, Cam Ellis-Yeoman will. I'm not too sure how many games he's played in the second part of this season, but he played a few in the first. He's obviously going to qualify for finals, and he definitely will be better for the run. As the ball picked up there by Mentha, has a shot at goal, out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, he doesn't look unfit, but he just sort of looks like he could do with a bit more conditioning, I guess you'd call it, or match fitness. Just, yeah, get a bit of that under his belt ahead of finals campaign. And you'd think a side with him in it is going to be better without, because he can play realistically, he can play ruck, he can play as a centre midfielder, as a wing, he can play anywhere on the ground, and yeah, just a great asset to have. Sharples now on that far side. He works it down to Moroney. Moroney dances back and forth. Umpire calls play on, so he has to go now to Aaron Stokes. And again, just experimenting with Stokes down the line. Not sure if it's working. He seems a bit sort of lost with his leads. That one there obviously has been turned over now with Bowden at half back. Got a few players out this side. He'll have to come out here, but not really sure where he's going to come. Looks like Sexton's the target. Going out the back is Mentha. Mentha will now have to wrap up Robinson. Ball goes beyond Bean. Sexton made his presence felt. Fijo got a handball out over the top. Now he'll get it back from Sexton. Gets to 50. Goes out to the lead of Dunstan on the fat side. Bit too much on it. Moroney now running back. Dunstan just muscles his way into a better position. Almost held without it. Gets a handball over the top of Ellis Yeoman's head. Cassidy running through, picked it up, hit a brick wall. Now Liam Whelan try to keep it alive. I think he has. No, just meets the boundary line first.
A few players with hands on knees out there. Just looking at Kevin Maroney. He ran hard. He covered a lot of territory in that passage of play. So players just sucking in the deep ones there. And a boundary throw in 70 metres around from Southern District's goal. Dennis, as he's all done all day, going to win it. Hacked out of midair by the Southern District's player. To no avail. Almost ended up in the Southern St Mary's bar next door. And it's going to be a free kick there for out on the field of the Buffs. So if we look at the stats in the first half, and we just go, Matty Dennis, 27 hitouts. Southern District's 27 hitouts, Darwin Buffalo's 10. So that's always going to be the case when you've got Dennis up against the smaller ruckman. And it has equated to clearances. So Southern District's 22 clearances, Buffalo's 12 clearances. Sometimes the dominant ruckman, it doesn't necessarily correlate to the clearances on the field, but this one has. The Southern Districts are doing well there, and all stats over the ground are fairly even, except the hitouts and clearances. So Southern Districts, and due to Matty Dennis, who's been best on ground, dominating in that area.
Yeah, absolutely, and that probably ticks over into disposals as well. It's not a huge differential in that first half, 130 to 111, only or less than 20 in it, but at the same time, a lot of that would be coming straight down from the ruck hitouts. So it looks like Driscoll's got a free kick there. I think Ellis Yeoman's just coming off with the blood rule. District starting to build a bit of pace and class in this quarter, but yet to hit a major through on the scoreboard. So here he comes.
Oh.
Gee, spots Bowden out there all by himself, goes inside 50 from the apex, kicks towards goal, across the face and just punched through. Possibly could have looked to go a bit more central, running half back. You don't really go for those ones unless you absolutely have to. Bradley Stokes, he now comes in, finds Will Robinson, who will play on. A bit uncertain, hesitates, looks for Sharples, and Dennis was on him. So Dennis then again following up with the groundwork, but Cassidy now gets it out. Timmy Eldridge picks it up on the fly and runs, takes a bounce. No, he doesn't. He kicks it over the top. Stafford at the fall of it. He paddles it down to his own advantage. But who's there? I think it was Driscoll. No, it was Waitman running through again, looking to get a second and a third touch at it.
Well done.
Kicks it over the top now. Dilbarry takes a mark a long way from home. Dunstan already on the move. He goes into the pocket there. In fact, Sexton, he tried to take it running back with the flight. Has stopped it going out on the full, but will just have a ball up in that forward pocket.
Yeah, Dunstan leading up and Sexton leading back, and the kick sort of just dropped in the middle of the two, so a bit shorter.
Bit shorter or a bit longer, it would have been an ideal kick.
Yeah. So boundary thrown on the outer side. Mitchell up against Dennis. Dennis goes with the fist this time, goes forward, boundary side. Smith's lurking, goes back in for a second crack, as does Cassidy from the Buffs. Ball's wrapped up. Umpire Bitterscombe says who's going up for this one. Mitchell up against Dennis again. Dennis claims it out of the ruck, throws it on the boot. Ball spills there to a very dangerous position in front of goal. Sexton down there to McQueen. McQueen's wrapped up by Robinson. Robinson gives him another one on the ground as well. Those two have been going at it all day. I don't think they're going to be sending Christmas cards to each other after that. Picked up by Dilbarry on his left boot. A flying shot of goal out of that pack. Through to the near side and through for one behind. And that moves Southern Districts to 6 goals, 6:42. Darwin Buffs 6 goals, 3:39. And we've gone 11.5 minutes in this third quarter.
And Sexton's down. Not sure if he's been hit off play or what the go is, but he looks very ginger. Perhaps copped an elbow to the gut. Jock, he takes it on the half-back flank. They now go outbound. Stafford, the target, couldn't quite take the mark, and Sexton's still down at half-back. Just off screen. Looking very, very sore. Umpire looks like he will or she will throw it back in. Dennis takes it out straight away. Goes to Mentha. Mentha gets it off. I think is that Ellis Yeoman, kicks it into the forward pocket. Fist goes over the top. Ball goes out on the full. Or was it touched over? Just touched over.
Ready throw in. So Sexton is up. Runner's sort of saying, do you want to come off? And he's saying, no, I'm all right. So perhaps had the wind taken out of him. He's still got his hands on his knees there. But that's good. He looks like he's going to play on. So these teams don't want injuries before the finals. This is crucial. Yes, they're having a crack today, but I think both coaches would want their players ready to rock and roll for finals. Cassidy lays a good tackle. McQueen goes in there, clearly taken over the shoulder there by Robinson, and that's Will Robinson. And I think McQueen said, finally, I've got a free kick. He's been in the wars today. And he's won a free kick. We're at 25, 30 metres out from goal. We'll kick from 30, almost no angle. And should extend Southern District's lead here.
McQueen, another one who had a pretty significant injury early in the year. I think he got choppered back off Tiwi after a nasty hit from Daly. So good to see him out there playing some good footy.
So Jack McQueen, a very important player for Southern Districts, 30 metres out, kicks right through it. However, to his left.
He's been given a 50-metre penalty against Mitch Robinson. So it looks like Robinson's remonstrating with the umpire. Not happy at all.
Was it for abuse or was it coming in the protected area?
I think it might have been jumping over the mark before.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So he's just trying to appeal and he's not happy at all.
So McQueen, take two. They've given each other high fives after that. I'm not too sure what that's about. Then someone gives Robinson one on the way through.
Never a dull moment. It's all Mitch Robinson on the field.
It's all a little bit weird out there. I can't exactly pick up what's going on. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The Southern Districts have kicked one from the square and they move to 7 goals, 6, 48. They extend their lead to 9 points. Darwin Buffalo 6 goals, 3, 39.
That free kick on screen was against Will Robinson, and the 50-metre penalty we might see in a second. No, we won't. Yeah, so it looks like Mitch Robinson just jumped or sort of moved beyond the call of duty on the mark and has given away a 50-metre penalty for that protected zone rule. And easy as you like, McQueen slotted it through from the goal square. They moved to as you said, 9-point lead. I
don't think Mitch agrees with you that.
I don't think he does. No,
intruded on the mark there. He's not happy, and notice he's having his shirt up around, getting a bit of air on the chest today. So. Ball back in the middle. It's holding, and that's going to be a free kick there.
And it'll be a 50. So they're paying them today. There's probably been about 3 or 4. Unfortunately, that's not a stat we have on our sheet at the moment of free kicks for and against and 50-metre penalties. But I think there might have been about 3 or 4 and probably 2 or so each way. That one looks like it'll go Robinson's way. So you've won away down one end and get one back the other.
He's always in the thick of it. It was him and Ellis Yeoman there, and the umpire adjudicated Ellis Yeoman gave away a free kick. Southern Districts played on, so umpire had no other choice but to say, all right, that's 50. And Mitch always seems to be in there. He's always seems to be front and square, so... Robinson, man of the mark, 20 metres out. Shouldn't have any issue with this. He kicks right through it. It goes almost into the Michael Long centre courtyard. Umpire says that's a goal. Buffs get around him, and we're back to a 3-point ball game.
Still feel like Districts are just on top in this quarter, and that's reflective on the scoreboard, which obviously they've kicked 3 more points this quarter than the Buffs, but nonetheless, Buffs will keep coming, and you never know when a goal, a free kick like that is going to turn the tides. Robinson now starting in the forward line at this centre bounce. Rodos, Eldridge and Matt Watkins in the middle. Meanwhile for Districts, McQueen, Smith and Shannon, while Atkinson and Dennis will do battle in the ruck. Dennis gets it down. Spills out. Smith first to it. He just throws on the boot. Not a bad kick. Whelan flying through, gets it out now. Ellis Yeoman snaps on goal. What a ripper that was. Straight out of the middle. Cam Ellis-Yeoman extends it back out to 9 points.
Yeah, that's right back at you. So that was 10 seconds out in the middle. Southern Districts have replied there, and ball come to Cam Ellis-Yeoman, and a bloke with his skill, he can't get too much space inside that forward 50, so hands off the pack there. Moroney went to smother, just had enough to get it round the corner, and he doesn't miss them, so well done. And we're back out to a 9-point ball game. 17 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter. Has ball back in the hands of Stark. Dennis versus Atkinson. Smith's going to come to Smith. Beautiful knock on there to McQueen. Back to Smith. Back there to his Southern Districts player. That may be Mentha. That is a magnificent chain of play there. Who was that, Will?
That's Ethan Maney.
That's Ethan Maney. So that was a beautiful clearance out of the middle there by Southern Districts, and beautifully finished there by Ethan Maney. And that is 2 goals within a minute. And suddenly, Southern Districts up by 15 points.
Yeah, very smooth. You can just see that. Not very orthodox handballs from the Districts play. They just did what they could to get it into Maney's hands, running inside 50. He liked that one, and I think another player who would almost prefer to kick it on the run than from a set shot. Been a great wingman for them all year. Not really a standout sort of player. Will never sort of be in the, if they had an Australian team up here or what have you, but he definitely is serviceable in his role in the wing for Southern Districts out there at Jerry McCarthy Oval and here in town as well. Back in the middle, and Dennis gets another hit out down. Districts are on a roll here for sure. Bean, he gets a handball out over the top, but Smith, he's at the fall of it. Maney trying to get involved again. Robinson picked it up and ducked his head, wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire calls for a push, going the way of Robinson.
Every free kick at the moment seems to have Mitch Robinson in there. It's uncanny, Will. It's either for or against. He's up amongst it, that's for sure.
Great kick. He finds Tom Clark in the centre of the ground. He now goes to full forward, and he's found a player at the bottom. It's Favretto who's gone quiet, and he's taken a mark. There's a free kick paid against.
And Driscoll takes that free kick. So we're not sure what that free kick was for. Anyway, Southern Districts don't care. It comes to McQueen. Over the top there. Kick couldn't hit the target. Coming out there was Bean. Players dive in. Picked up there by Southern Districts. Comes to Stanley. He's got 2 players forward. Comes to his captain, Staunton. He gives to Dill Barry on his favoured left foot. Just drills a nice little pass inside 50. And Jonathan Ross, who's been very quiet today. However, a very crucial part of this Southern Districts machine, takes the mark 40 metres out. And he looks like he's going to go back and have a shot. He'll kick from about 46, 47. So Buffs, we're just entering time on in the third quarter here. Buffs got to stay with them. Been a very, very even contest all day. Just this last 5 minutes, Southern Districts really put the foot to the floor. As Jono Ross, he likes it. And Southern Districts have kicked the last 4, and the last 3 goals of this game, and they extend their lead to 21 points, and we're entering time on in this third quarter.
Yeah, since that Robinson 50-metre penalty, probably again about 4 minutes ago, not too long ago at all, it's all been Southern Districts. They've just put the gas on there, put their foot on the gas and just kept going. 3 goals on the run, and then, 2 goals on the run, and then just streaming down that far side. Ethan Maney involved again. He's a bit of the main man at the moment. Probably wouldn't mind me saying that. And it's ended up in Jonathan Ross's hands. We know he was a pretty handy goal kicker last year. I think he might even have finished in the top 5 for the competition. Has had a bit of a disrupted season this year. Not sure how many games he's played, but this is the first time I've seen him play. And he's definitely still got that goal kicking talent. Dennis in the middle, he gets a hit out and the clearance. How about that? Ellis-Yeoman the target, putting some body contact on Will Robinson again. Mitch Robinson, he picks a ball up. Big slam down there from Cam Ellis-Yeoman, and it'll be a free kick going Mitch's way again. They're definitely targeting him, you'd say. Former teammates there, no love lost, hopefully. But you're feeling it sparking up again, and they're both tied on the mark. Look at them standing there, both hunched over.
And yet again, another free kick involving Mitch Robinson. So quite uncanny.
Goes out to that far side wing. Dennis trying to get involved. Again, not sure why he kick it out to Dennis's vicinity, but they have.
Yeah, they've got to avoid going down the line or anywhere near Matty Dennis. Matty Dennis has been clearly the best player on the ground. He's been absolutely dominant. Many people say one of the better ruckmen to ever play in this competition. Been a star, and he's just going to get... Oh, I thought he was going to get another hit out there. Well done there by Atkinson. He picks up, drives one there to centre half forward. Sterling Mitchell gives a nice little handball there. That is Timmy Eldridge. Fires in on goal. And I think Jack Palmer was there, 3 for 1 behind. As Fraser Driscoll is going to bring it back into this near side. Maney's there. Over the back is Shannon. Comes to Shannon. He's dispossessed. Goes back, dives on it. It's a 2-on-1. Bus player there, Mitchell. Well read there.
All diving on it there. Eldred involved. They're just dragging the players off him. Helping get Mazzini up. And nothing untoward there, but just a few rough movements. Again, late in this one. 23 minutes gone. Dennis, a hit out straight down to Robinson. And slam down again. Mitch Robinson, that's about his third free kick in 5 minutes.
Well, when you put your head over the ball, you get the free kick. So Mitch is proof of that and has been his whole career.
Looking for Aaron Stokes in that centre corridor. Stafford was there as well. Kyle McBean getting involved. Stafford a long way out now. Gets it to Sterling Mitchell. He dances around one. Gee, a floater off the boot. Centre half back or even at full back. It looks like it's McQueen who's taking the mark. He'll go out to Sexton. Oh, Sexton under pressure there. Late hit. Not sure if that was in there. I don't even think Sexton was actually hit. It looked like they've just got a fist in on the ball. But the free kick will go nonetheless. He kicks it out there looking for Ross. Didn't hit him cleanly. Has made Bean work. Ross will get a handball out. Maney picks it up. We know he's got pace to burn. Goes backwards through traffic. Handballs it onto the run of Sexton. Awful handball. Sterling Mitchell picks it up. Gets around one. Wrapped up in a tackle. Now gets it to Will Robinson. Will Robinson run down. Ping for holding the ball. Great tackle there. I think that's from Maney, is it? Or from Taj Stanley? I think it's Taj Stanley, actually. But 3/4 time siren. And another weird quarter in this weird game that we've got ahead of us. It's a 20-point margin, here. Southern Districts 10-6, 66, leading the Buffaloes 7-4, 46. We'll quickly take you through the goal scorers. For the Crocs, it's Dunstan with 2 and singles to Mentha, Ross, Stanley, Schwartz, McQueen, Maney, Ellis, Yeoman and Smith. For the Buffaloes, it's 2 each to Stafford and Stokes and singles to Clark, Jock and Robinson. We'll be back after this 3/4 time break.
To the left of your radio, they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Picked up by Beautiful.
Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium here in Darwin. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season. Round 18 action, the final quarter here between Darwin Buffaloes and Southern Districts, and Southern Districts skipped out to a 19-point lead in that third quarter, all level at half time, and it's 10-5-65 Buffaloes leading. Districts leading the Buffaloes on 7-4-46. I'm Will Zwar, with me is Clint Firth. Can the Buffaloes bounce back and take this game, Clint?
Yeah, look, very, very even first half of footy. Very even the first 5 minutes of that third quarter. Southern Districts really planted the foot to the floor. They kicked back-to-back goals and put some distance between themselves and the Buffaloes. So they kicked 4 goals to that quarter. Buffaloes 1 goal 1. As I see, Stokes has gone in the ruck there for Buffaloes. So start of this third quarter, let's see how Buffs respond. Comes there to Bean, ball smothered. Ellis Yeoman gives it to Sexton. Sexton tries to hit up his leading forward. Well done there by Cassidy, got a fist in there. Ball comes to Ross, just tried to have a flying shot at goal, hit the wrong side of the footy. Ball goes out of bounds on the full. And the ball will be brought back in by Maroney.
Fast start from the Buffs. More Southern Districts, you think they're the ones who want to come away with the win in this one, prove that they're not just making up the numbers in finals. Awful kick out there to Robinson, couldn't take the mark. We saw him get about 4 free kicks in the last probably 8 minutes or so of that third quarter. He's been, no surprises, in the thick of it here today. Kick to goal as a result of a 50-metre penalty, also given away a 50-metre penalty which resulted in a goal. Districts come down. Here's Smith on his left, non-preferred, not a bad kick though, across the face, just through for a behind.
So first score of this third quarter, Southern Districts extend their lead to 20 points as the ball's brought in. Nice kick, the mark there taken by Cassidy. This second kick, very important. He's going to come out wide here to the big fella Stafford. Thought his jumper may have been held then. It doesn't matter.
Just a one-handed take that one was.
Plucks it down with one hand and says, you want to hold my jumper, I'll just take it with one hand. He launches one in the middle. It's a one-on-one there. Driscoll, he's going to always be hard to beat one-on-one. Driscoll, he's a gun. Matt Watkins goes without it. Geez, I thought the Buffs play was taken in the back then. Driscoll claims it. He goes with the footy. Matt Watkins is in there. Driscoll and Delahy are with him. The ball comes there to Mazzini. He throws one on the boot. Maney, Robinson, some good body work on him. Maroney spins without it. McQueen, he's taken in the tackle. Ball ends up coming there to Fijo, right in the centre square. That's a beautiful handball over the top to Bo Schwartz. And Bo Schwartz hits up his leading full forward, Dunstan. Good footy there from Southern Districts. Dunstan only had a metre on his direct opposition there. The kick was beautiful. He's taking the mark 45 metres out from goal. He's going to kick from 50. And you think if he kicks this, it's going to extend the lead to 20 points. It's going to be a hard task here for Buffs.
Dunstan just starting his run up now. He'll be about 45 out by the time he kicks it. He knows where to find him. It's a good looking kick.
Oh, I reckon it's come back right at the end, Will.
And he's got it through. So they move out to a 26-point lead, as you say. And it's going to be hard from here, though not just beyond the Buffs yet. Looking at Ruska there, and it looks relatively relaxed in their coach's box. Good work to get a handball over the top. And again, it's just been pretty smooth there from Southern Districts. Good lead there. It's now Dunstan. And our stats have come through up to three-quarter time, and no surprises who's got most touches for the game. Mitch Robinson on top for the Buffs with 17. McQueen also with 17 for Southern Districts. He really came alive that quarter as well. Jared Stokes a bit quieter that quarter. Just the one touch, but he's third on 14th. Back in the middle now, and Sexton wrapped up straight away out of the ruck contest. Umpire calls play on, just trying to work it out of there. Not coming super easily. So we'll have another ball up.
And Matty Dennis with 37 hitouts, Will. Just a lazy 37 going into the fourth quarter. A big game from him, and I still believe he's been best on ground. So there's another one. Taps it out there. Sharple slaps in front of him. Gives it, don't argue. That was well done. Kick over the top there goes to Bean. He's harassed there by Dill Barry. Umpire says he didn't have the footy. There's going to be a free kick under the scoreboard on the outer side there to Bean. Gets a call there from Cassidy. Little kick over the top. That's well done. And the mark taken out there by Grant. Grant tries to hit up a lead in the middle. Ball goes over the back. It's all Southern Districts there. Driscoll gives it to Schwartz. Schwartz back to Driscoll. And Schwartz goes inside 50. Dunstan's there. He got good body position. Picked up there by Ellis Yeoman. He's got a man free in the pocket. He says, I don't need you. Swings around. So that was Ross. He had a bit of space in the pocket there. Yeoman fired a goal. Through to the right. Through for one behind. And so far, all Southern Districts is fourth quarter.
Yeah, Dennis, he got 11 hit-outs that quarter, and he's still leading Darwin. He's got 37 hit-outs to their 11, so absolutely dominating the ruck. Looks like Moroney taking down. In fact, it might be Bean. He goes long to Aaron Stokes, who, again, we know he's played a different role today, but Dennis just getting involved, and again, time and time, they're not looking at where Dennis is in those kick-outs, and he's getting way too involved. Oh, here's Mentha and Vrodos getting involved. There's a free kick going the way of Vrodos by the looks of it. As a result, he now comes out looking, and I think the young fella there in Sketcher has just gotten a falcon as well. Ball over the boundary line. We'll have a ball up just District's side of the wing.
So still a bit of push and shove. As you said, these two played each other well in the grand final, sort of, I think it may have been 4 or 5 years ago. I'm sure a little bit of bad blood from then. And, yeah, been a really heady game, even though it's a dead rubber. Picked up there by Robinson.
Now goes forward. Good sitting in the hole there with Bowden. Looks and goes, and he finds Palmer. Palmer will turn and go. Running out there is Schwartz. Schwartz. He now kicks down the line. Dunstan lurking. Can't find him. And Buff's defence this quarter's not been too bad to start off with. They've been peppered a little bit, but they've held the tides. Just the one goal gone against them so far. Where they really probably need to pick up is moving it and transitioning it through the midfield and getting it forward. We've got Stafford and Atkinson, 2 targets close to goal, or the closest players to goal, we should say. Need to get the ball in their hands. Ball up now in that back pocket for them. Comes out now. Robinson just weathers it. Tackled instantly. Handball was errant. Now they work it out. Eldridge, he gets around one, gets it to Matt Watkins. Silky smooth skills he has. That kick's not great though. He works it back now with Clark. Clark goes down the line. Had to be pinpoint to find McBean. He couldn't. And now rolling back, there's Mazzini. He'll push back further to Bowden. And Bowden's got a runner. If he wants to switch it to him, he'll switch it anyway, but he'll go further afield down to Fijo. Fijo, you'd think he'd turn and go. He does. He gives it off to the runner there in Galbraith. Galbraith goes into the pocket. Sexton can't take the mark. Has to try to take it off the half volley.
Well done
Moroney
there by Moroney.
Done very well there. Snap forward again. I think that's Sketcher again, but only as far as Fijo. Fijo's got options. He goes centering there to McQueen. Just goes over his head. Schwartz running back. Gets a handball back out to Bowden now. Worked his way further afield. Tried to get around one. Got it to Fijo. Fijo sells the candy. Wrapped up in a tackle. Nearly got away with it.
Eldridge.
Big, strong tackle there on Eldridge. Lucky he didn't commit too heavily to it, or he would have given away a free kick and possibly a week of his time. Galbraith, he now centres it. Dill Barry takes the mark, does he? Just pops out. Umpire calls play on Eldridge. He now picks it up, rolling back through traffic and running out this near side. Needs to give a bounce. Instead, he gives away a handball, and that's not a good one. Went beyond Moroney and went over the boundary line.
Yeah, so Fijo running into goal there. I think he had a little chip over the top, and it was his first option. He decided to go inboard and try and get around him. Well done by Buffs to repel this attack. But, yeah, look, this game's almost out of their reach now. They really need to get a wiggle on. What's that? 4 goals, 3. So 27-point lead to Southern Districts. Dennis read it best, as he has all day. Gives the handball to his captain there, Staunton. Staunton on his right boot. Little chip forward. And dropping in there is, I think that's Bo Schwartz. I get him mixed up with Maney Will. They look very similar out there. Very similar build and very similar haircut. So Maney, taking that mark about 45 metres out. It's going to be kicking from about 50.
It is Schwartz, sorry.
Schwartz, sorry. My bad. So Bo Schwartz, he has kicked one today. Kicking from 49 metres. Gets under it. Player's going to go up there. Good fist in there by Moroney. First one there's Mentha. He's going to pick up. He goes in board. Puts his foot to the floor. Oh, fires at goal. Just across the face. In fact, well and truly across the face. Out of bounds. And the ball will be brought back in by the Buffs.
You're right. It's nearly beyond their reach, and Districts really just need to weather the storm. But the storm doesn't look like it's coming yet. Though here's Mitch Robinson on the back flank. Another great pass. Oh, oof. Nearly paid off. Couldn't take the mark and put him under pressure. Bowden just running through. He's come alive this last quarter. He gets it through to Shannon. Shannon now into the pocket to Dunstan. Dunstan had to backtrack. Can he take the mark? No. Barry at the fall of it. He couldn't get it. Will Robinson. He now goes to Mitch Robinson.
They're holding up here, Bas, but they're just struggling to get it out into their offensive half. They've done that here. Let's see how they go.
Good mark there by Mazzini. Now he goes into Waitman. Waitman can turn and go. He gives it off again to Delahaye. Delahaye, gee, big long kick. Mark wasn't taken, but he's got numbers. Plenty of numbers there, and Buffs just haven't worked back hard enough. And you almost think that just the way that they're playing at the moment, this goal will be game over. Just the nature of how they've transitioned ball from full back to full forward. Not good enough for the Buffs, and it looks like a team who said, won't be our week. Let's come back harder next week.
Yeah, good hard running there by Southern Districts, in particular Staunton. Geez, this is not good from the Buffs. They almost look like they put the cue in the rack here. Short. Could have lined up for another shot.
Literally just in this last sort of 45 seconds of play.
Yeah. And Jack Mentha ends up on this one. So he's a goal kicker today. He's looking to put his second on the board. He's taking the mark 20 metres out. He's going to kick from 25. Mentha likes it. And that is game, set, match. Southern Districts moved to 12 goals, 779. Leading Buffs 7 goals for 46.
All smiles in the Crocs coach's box as well.
Yeah, they don't look too stressed in there. And why wouldn't you? You're going to finish top of the ladder. You get a bye next week, and you can have a red hot crack at a final series after that. So, yeah, the steam's going out of this one. Buffs need to run it out, but they need some momentum going into their elimination final next week. Going to be a big game. They haven't got a great record in elimination finals. Of recent, so yeah, I'm pretty sure their coach Cam Stokes would want them to run this out.
Dennis again, he's been dominant in the ruck today, as you mentioned, up to three-quarter time, out-rucking them by more than 3 times their hit-outs, and he gets another one there, straight down to Shannon on his left to Dunstan at full forward. It's an arm wrestle there. He's taken a mark going back to the flight. No, he hasn't, but he's been paid a free kick for being held. And just getting some news up from the newsroom. Looks like Jared Stokes is off with an injury as well. So that's huge news and a huge dent in Darwin's finals campaign. He's, as I've mentioned a number of times throughout the season, I think he, along with the two Dylans, Dylan Lant and Dylan Collis, have been the 2 or the 3 best players in the comp. So they need him out there.
He was on 14 possessions at three-quarter time.
Dunstan gets it through as easy as you like.
They've just got to hold firm now, the Buffs. This is getting a little bit ugly. They were so competitive for the first 3 quarters of this game. You really don't want to get blown out here in the last quarter going into an elimination final next week, as we just said. So they've got to stand firm. I can see them, a few guys arguing with the umpire there. Probably not what you want at this stage of the game. You've got to really fight out this result. Ball's going to go back into the middle. Umpire Emma Stark.
39 points. Just seeing that scoreboard there, 46 to 85. Suddenly it's blown out and doesn't feel like it's really deserving of the game we've had in front of us. But perhaps that's what Southern Districts have done all year, and that's why they're top of the ladder.
Yeah, just a reminder, we were all square at half time here, so, and even three-quarter time we weren't too far off. It was only a 3-goal margin, but Southern Districts have really blown this one out. Dennis up against Atkinson. Dennis spikes it forward. Schwartz is there. Staunton's there. Gets a quick handball there, picked up by Shannon, back to Staunton. Staunton's running on top of the ground in this last quarter. He drills one in there until Barry had 2 metres on his opponent. That's all he needed. And that's another mark inside 50 to Southern Districts. And they'll have a shot from 30 metres out.
So we think Jared Stokes might be a left hamstring at some point in that third quarter. As Barry comes in now and kicks another. As we said, that's a huge loss for Darwin, and almost as big a loss as if someone like Matty Dennis went down, you'd say. If he'd been a bit more active in that third quarter, you don't think it would have been as much of a margin at three-quarter time, and perhaps even we'd have a game on our hands here. But, gee, again, looking at that, there are 45 points up, and that's come as quick as a flash.
Hopefully it's only a grade 1 there, or it's a little twing for Stokes. Grade 1s you can get up the next week. If there's bruising there, generally it's a grade 2. And that's probably going to mean more than a week off. So good luck to him. He's crucial for Buffalo's crusade through the final series this year. Good luck to him. Ball back in the middle. Umpire Bitterscombe. Ellis Yeoman in there now. He is flexible. Comes there to Clark, the vice captain. Ball goes through. Ellis Yeoman, little handball there to Sexton. Good pressure there by Sharples. Goes back in. Smith's got him. Sharples over it. Knocks it out. Umpire's pinged a hold off this contest. And it's going to be a free kick there to Sharples. Sharples, a little one inboard to Mitch Robinson. They're going to switch here, the Buffs. He switches out wide to Maroney. Drops it. Has plenty of time to recover. He's used the ball really well. He's very good under pressure, Maroney. He doesn't panic down there. He's a very, very solid defender. He hits up Eldridge. Eldridge comes right out wide here on the wing to Bean. Bean had Robinson running forward. Kick needed to hit him. It didn't. Bowden came at it. Comes to Smith. Smith perhaps could have handballed then. Toe poke one over to Bowden. He swung round. Could have perhaps been leg. Could have been a throw. Umpire didn't know. He said play on. Comes to Staunton. Comes to Mazzini. Comes to Fijo. Back to Mazzini. Mazzini in the centre square. He's got Ross all alone. Takes the mark 55 metres out. Handball over the tops on. And that there is Jack Mentha, and he's going to get on the end of this. Oh, no. Southern District's given one away here off the ball. I didn't see what happened there, but it's going to be a free kick there to Grant. And that there has cost Southern Districts a goal. As
Timmy Eldridge is jumping over the fence to fetch the ball.
Retrieve that footy. The ball's going to go back to Grant, and it's going to be a free kick to him in the defensive 50 for the Buffs.
So Grant, he'll play on. No one standing on the mark there. Got a lot of pace. Maybe too much behind that ball. Was a bit of a floater. Just touched by Driscoll over the boundary line. Ball will go up again. Ellis Yeoman contesting that contest, and the Heat definitely well and truly taken out of this one. McQueen, he goes forward. Too easy. Sexton all by himself. One of the danger men today, you'd say. Dunstan at full forward, the target just goes beyond him. Dennis, he's trying to get to it. Feel like he might want to get on the end of one here, Clint.
Yeah, well, it's the cherries on top for a really good game. I'm not sure where I haven't seen Southern Districts too many times through the year, Will. I'm not sure where he'll sit in terms of the medal at the end of the year, the best and fairest count, but I dare say he's probably going to finish on 3 votes today. He's been absolutely dominant. The ball comes there to Staunton, to McQueen. Robinson with him. The Queen taps it out. Robinson claiming the free kick. Umpire says, "You're kidding." And we'll get another boundary throw in.
Yeah, he's come close a few times, Dennis. Don't think he's ever won the Nichols medal, but yeah, he's a very handy player. And in a competition like this, when you're that big, sometimes it's just easy. It's just easy footy, isn't it? Ball now at the bottom of the pack again in Southern District's forward pocket. We'll have another ball up there. And with a 45-point margin and a bye next week, Districts would just be hoping to get through the rest of this one unscathed. Unfortunately, unlike their opponents, with Stokes, their captain, going down. Snap on goal there from Shannon, wrong side of the post. Just apologises to a couple of teammates who were a bit further afield in a better position.
And Will, your thoughts on the Nichols, who, if you were to pick the winner of that at this stage, or a couple of fancies, who are you leaning towards?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think Jared Stokes, along with Dylan Collis and Dylan Land, are my three top picks. I'd probably say Dylan Land is a step ahead of the other two.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, I think Jared Stokes was probably the one, and I think recently Dylan Collis is the one in form, but I think Dylan Land has probably been the more consistent throughout the entirety of the year.
Yeah, I agree. I think if there was a market on it, Lance would start a fair, firm favourite. He's been absolutely dominant. And yes, there's some players for St Mary's are going to pinch and vote us, but I think he's been that good. He's probably going to get the three most times. Fijo goes inside 50, can't hit the target, and the ball trickles out in the forward pocket.
Another one who would be interesting to watch. Don't think he'll win, but Baxter Mensch, I think, will be leading the count at round 12. Obviously, he hasn't played since then, but had a fantastic first half of the season.
I agree with that. Stevie Motlop from the Wanderers, I think he's going to poll really well.
Mitch Robinson, he should poll not too badly either. Big barrel out of there, but just turns it over and goes straight back down there into the centre corridor. Dennis was the target. Fist came down there from Atkinson. Fijo dancing through, gets on to Barry. Barry snaps towards goals. Gone through. He has. So it's party time here for Districts. Another goal on the board. Extend their lead out to 52 points, and again looking very relaxed in the Southern District's coaching box there. Take a look at this as the kick goes inboard. Dennis sort of flew in from the side, couldn't take the mark. It comes down, and Barry just lurking there all by himself, straight as soon as he got the boot to ball, and high little it went through.
Just going back to that Nichols man, I don't think Philo's going to be too far away either. Well, he was back to his best this season. He had a sensational season, and he's had a couple of many dominant games this year where I can't see anyone else pinching the three votes of him. So I think he's going to be right up there.
Not as many teammates potentially to steal it from him this year either as he has in previous years.
And as we saw last year with Guthrie, Palmerston didn't win a lot of games, and therefore, in theory, he shouldn't get a lot of three votes. And people tend to think that's how it works, but he proved them wrong, and I think he was a very, very worthy joint winner of the award. There's ball back in the middle, and the Queen knocks it off. Comes there to Schwartz. Schwartz to Ellis Yeoman. Ellis Yeoman from 50 fires. Doesn't hit it well at all. Out of bounds on the full. He'll be better for the run. I'm sure he'll train hard in the next couple of weeks, Ellis Yeoman, and he'll be ready to rock and roll in Southern District's first week of finals.
And as this one comes to a close, just a reminder, you've been watching AFLNT's coverage of the TIO NTFL 2022-23 season here from TIO Stadium. And it's a 52-point margin here between Districts and Buffaloes. First place versus fifth place. Still potential for these two to match up again, I think, in 2 weeks' time, Clint. If Buffs keep winning and if Districts lose that first game.
Okay.
Or potentially further in finals if that's the way the cards fall. Xavier Grant here. One last gasp for the Buffs today. Good mark and good lead there from Stafford.
Oh, he's gone threatening to put one through him. Lucky the big fella didn't do it, or the guy would have ended up 10 foot underground. He's a big man, Stafford. I don't know what's going on there.
Not happy with young Matt Mazzini.
Whether that was just that contest, Will, or something's going on throughout the day. But he's probably not one you want to get belted by, Stafford. Anyone in this Buffaloes team, he's a big unit. And he wasn't happy about something there.
going through the motions here, Stafford. He's kicked 2 today. Approaches a 50, be 45 out when he kicks it. That's a good long kick. Coming back through the big sticks. Not a lot of joy though for the Buffs. They'll lose this one today. Gets it out to 52, and again looking too relaxed in there. Not too relaxed, but looking very relaxed in the coach's box there, and probably for the other reasons that the district's box is looking so.
Just on replay then. I think just a bit of friendly fire there. I've got him down for 3. I've got him down for his third goal.
His third goal today. Yep. 2 in that second quarter, and another one just then, obviously. Their first goal of this quarter, Buffs, and they did a bit of experimenting today. Looks like they'll do some more. Is this Sharples going in the ruck? No, just Sharples in the middle, but we've seen Aaron Stokes play in the forward line. He's starting at full forward again here. He's played on the wing, usually played down the back line. Matt Watkins has moved to the wing now. He's played at half forward today when most of the season he's been at half back. So they have thrown a few things around. Buffs, fair to say, a lot of them probably haven't worked the way they would have hoped, but I guess that's what these sort of round 18 games are for.
Mitch Robinson just laying big tackles in there. He's done it all day. Sketcher comes to Ellis Yeoman. Ellis Yeoman's worked into the game nicely. Swings out Staunton. Takes it on the half-forward flank. Drills one in. It bounces back there like volleyball to Staunton. He again drives it in. And the big ruckman, he's gone forward after that contest. And Matty Dennis, who is that far best on ground this game. No one else is even close. Not that there haven't been other good players on the ground, but he has just been absolutely dominant. And if these two do match up again during finals, I think Buffs have to work out perhaps a better strategy for him, or perhaps he's that good you don't know what to do. But Matty Dennis from 30, right on the siren. Goal umpire does not move. And that's all she wrote here. Southern Districts, 16 goals, 8, 104, have defeated the Darwin Buffaloes 8 goals for 52.
Exactly double their score, and they've done it all in the second half. At half-time, it was 39 apiece. Since then, it's just 13. I think it's 2 goals, 1. The Buffs have kicked to 10 goals, 6. I think my maths might be a bit off there, but dominant second half here from Southern Districts. Clint, who did you see as your 3, 2 and 1 today? No surprises for your 3, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Matty Dennis I thought was the best player on the ground, clearly. He was there. I thought Sexton for Southern Districts, I thought he was electric. He was very, very good all day. And really couldn't fault his performance. Perhaps when the game was more heated in the first half, he also stood up as well. And I thought Mitch Robinson for 1, he was involved throughout. He kept getting better as the game went on, and as his Buffalo teammates faded, he seemed to rise to the top. He was one of the few that sort of ran the game out well. So that's my 3, 2, 1 from here. Yeah,
I agree with your 3 and your 2. For the 1, I'd probably go with Jake McQueen. I thought he had a really good game and really shone in that third quarter when Buffs fell away and when Southern Districts got on top of the game. So for me, he deserves. In fact, I might even give him my 2 votes and demote Sexton to just the 1. But yeah, very solid game from Southern Districts, all-round performance. They have had their doubters throughout the season, but I think they just do the good things, or the simple things and the basics right.
Yeah, I'm not one of them. I think they're great. And I just think they're playing the big expanse of this oval maybe the thorn in their side. But, yeah, I'm not one of them. I really like the team they've got on the park. They seem to have a good attitude, and I think they're going to go pretty deep in this final series.
Well, thanks for joining us at home or wherever you may be. It's been a great game here. We'll just run you through that final score again. Southern Districts have walked away 52-point winners here in round 18 action. We look forward to bringing you all the finals action from next week and beyond.